Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes, brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware. It's spring, so once the weather finally does warm up and stays warm more consistently, start thinking about your yard and how it looks landscape-wise, so you can get all the mulch, topsoil, gravel, the mulch in different colors. They've got tons of it at Omni, 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York. 631-756-1125. They have the best prices anywhere in the tri-state area, and the website is omnitruevalue.com. Well, we're trying today after another night of lows in the 20s and teens, and we have seen an ample amount of sunshine. However, we're looking at the satellite. There's a little batch of clouds there moving southeast from upstate New York and into northeastern Pennsylvania, and they're moving southeastward. So some areas may go partly sunny, while others stay mostly sunny for the rest of the day. And temperatures are going to bounce up above 40 in many areas for the highs in the next few hours. However, this is well below where we should be. We should be in the low to mid 50s for afternoon highs on average this time of year. And remember that those averages are climbing every couple of days. Meanwhile, if you go south and west, you see these clouds running from the lower Great Lakes and some high clouds down into southern Virginia and North Carolina. That is the beginnings of a warm front that is starting to take shape. And that warm front is going to start pushing northeastward very, very slowly. And it may not get through here until sometime early Thursday. And now, of course, in the warm sector to the south, back through Texas and Oklahoma, and on up into Arkansas, you see these clouds streaming northeastward, and that is the beginning of some showers. And they are moving eastward with a strong upper low. You'll notice the arc in the radar echoes from Missouri back across Nebraska and into Colorado. Well, that is due to a very strong upper air low and also a very strong low pressure system that is developing with that. And that is going to be a severe weather trigger in the next several days. So here's the Storm Prediction Center's risk area for today. We have slight risk from central Texas northward through Oklahoma, eastern Kansas, western Missouri, and on up into parts of Iowa, and the marginal risk surrounds that. But take a look at tomorrow, because we're going to probably wind up with a widespread severe weather outbreak on Wednesday in the central Gulf states. And this matches up to what happened just a week ago. We've got a moderate risk of severe weather in Louisiana in through Mississippi and Alabama, and enhanced risk surrounding that, reaching up into western Kentucky, southern Illinois, southeastern Missouri, and going back to the Texas-Louisiana state line. Slight risk pushing up into Illinois, southern Illinois, and southern Indiana. We don't have any worries here from severe weather through Wednesday. However, we've been talking about the fact that SPC has had the east in its eyes in its long range, and now it has come to the shorter range. And this is day 3, so Thursday into Friday. So we're thinking later Thursday afternoon, Thursday night. There is severe weather risk from New York City northwest to about Binghamton to Rochester, Syracuse. That's where the northern edge of marginal risk is. And you see the slight risk from southernmost New Jersey, south and west into northeastern North Carolina. And then there's a little bit of a break and another area of slight risk that covers much of Georgia and down into the Florida Panhandle. I think depending on where the warm front is, and if you look at the way they have the severe weather outline, it would suggest that SPC thinks the warm front probably sets up from Albany on southeastward to about eastern Long Island. So the areas that are going to get a wind off the ocean are going to see their thunderstorms probably weaken when they get there, but away from the coast, the severe weather risk increases. And I would not be surprised if the warm front winds up getting a little bit further to the north, that we certainly could see this risk area push further north into upstate New York and into western New England. So let's look at what the GFS has done today. This is, let me just roll it back a couple of maps here. So it looks like the thunderstorms in the risk zone are going to be occurring overnight. for tonight into tomorrow morning. And you can see by tomorrow morning there is a rather sharp looking squall line there from northwest Arkansas down into East Texas. Meanwhile, the warm front is pushing northeastward, and there's a little bit of precip with that in the form of some rain and even some sleet. And most of that will probably stay inland, but we'll just keep an eye on it, covered for the possibility that during Wednesday morning there might be a rain shower or two, or well north and west of the coast it might even be a snow shower or maybe a little bit of sleet. And then the warm front tries to continue to push to the north. There's a squall line for tomorrow, which tomorrow evening sweeps across Mississippi and Alabama and then heads into Georgia. And Thursday will be the day we'll have a southwest flow, and temperatures on Thursday are going to probably reach 70 or better from New York City south and west. We might even see mid to upper 70s in parts of southern Pennsylvania, southern New Jersey, down into Maryland and Delaware, and that's going to be the trigger mechanism for some thunderstorms. Again, where's the warm front in all of this is going to determine how far north that risk zone is. In the meantime, we're getting into the 40s today, 40s for Wednesday, and then we're going to shoot higher into the 70s in many locations from New York City west and south, 60s and 50s north and east. And after that front goes by, we're going to turn colder again for Friday and into the weekend. You can see there's some snow there on the maps up in upstate New York and western Pennsylvania again. But this is not like what we just experienced. This shot of cold air is nowhere near as fierce as the one we just had. So it'll just take temperatures cooler than average going into the weekend. And there's a weak system that comes out of the Ohio Valley. Looks like it's going to stay weak and pass by across eastern Virginia, Maryland, and the Delmarva Peninsula Saturday night into Sunday morning. So there might be clouds, maybe a shower or two in those areas to the south, and then it should move away, and weather conditions should improve as we go through the day on Sunday. So not a bad weekend. Saturday probably a slightly better day because of that weak disturbance that'll be moving through. Weather in 5 brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon. 6317-561125 is the telephone number, and the website is omnitruevalue.com. So we'll be watching the radars this evening on the Joe and Joe Weather Show as we focus our attention on tonight's risk area, which is from Texas northeast up into Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri. And we'll have a look at our weather, of course, and what the severe weather risk looks like here for Thursday. Of course, we will talk about that, what could be a widespread regional outbreak of a severe weather across the central Gulf states. For Wednesday, we'll be talking about that tonight, and that's at 7:30 Eastern Time. So we'll see you then.